For our topic today, we will be talking about standard form. Now, what's standard form? Standard form are basically ways of writing very large number or very small number in a specific way. So what's that specific way? We can write this in this form. A times 10 to the power of n. That is how we write standard form. Now, what's A over here? A over here, it stands for a number. And it has a specific range of how big can A be. So what's the range of A? So A over here, the range is 1. All right, let me write down the range first. So that is the range of what A can be. So A is always more or equal than 1, so which means that the smallest number that A can be is 1. Okay? A is less than 10, so which means it cannot exceed 10, it cannot be 10. So the biggest number that A can go is 9.99 and so on. Okay? So that is the smallest number that A can go, and this is the biggest number that A can go. Right? That's for A. Now what about this n over here? What does this n represent? This n over here, it represents a power, okay, like 10 to the power of something. So this power is going to be an integer. It's going to be an integer. So when we talk about integer, it is our positive or negative whole number. So that is what standard form is, because this is the format and this is what A represent and that is what n represent. So after knowing this, let me show you a simple example. So let's just say I have a very big number here. Okay? Now, how do we take a number, a big number in this case, to convert it to a standard form? Okay. First, we have to look at this number and identify where is the decimal place first. Now, in this case, this is a whole number. So the decimal place will be located at the end of the whole number. Okay? Now, this is true for any whole number. So like for example, 1, 25, 479, okay? All the decimal place in all this whole number is always at the end. Okay? Because we can rewrite this as 1.0. And both of these have the same meaning. Same go for this. 25, okay, I can write as 25.0. 25 and 25.0 have the same meaning. So that is where the decimal points are located. Now, why is this important? I'll share in a while. All right. So we located this decimal point over here of the whole number. My way, I would like to call this the n. Okay? Now, the next part here, if we look at the format of a standard form, we want to make this A over here. So this A consists of numbers. So I would like to take the numbers from here. Now, the numbers that I will be choosing will be bigger than 0. So in this case, it will be these numbers. Right? These are the numbers that I will be making it to my A. Right? If I have the zeros that are behind, it doesn't matter. All right? You just have to choose all the numbers that's bigger than 0. Okay? Now, over here, this is going to be the number that consists of my A. Now, I am going to put a decimal point over here. But where should I put it? All right? But where should I put it? Now, let's do some trial and error to understand this better. Now, let's just say this is the first time you're doing this, and okay, I'm just going to put my decimal point here. Now let's see what do we get over here. Let's take this down, all right? And we will get 14.96, right? Now, remember the condition that A must be? It must be within this range, right? So let's see, look over here. If I put my decimal point here, my number will be 14.96, right? Now, take a look at this and compare it to this range. This, it's bigger than this, right? The maximum number that A can go is 9.99. But in this case, if I put the decimal point here, it will be 14.96, which is bigger than this. So this is wrong. Okay, so once we know that this is wrong, where should we put the decimal place now? Okay, it should be here, right? Now, if we were to take the number down, what do we get? I will get 1496, and my decimal point is here, right? Okay, so in this case, I know that this number, when I put a decimal point here, it will satisfy this range. So this will be the correct location of the decimal place. Okay? So what do I do next? So since I know the correct location, all right, I will call this my start point. All right, so I have my A done. So what is left is my end, my integer. What's my integer? So what you need to do now, it's from your start, you have to jump as much decimal place as you need to the end. So how many decimal place do we have to jump? So let's see. So if you notice from start to end, the direction that we are going, it's going to the right. And how many times do we have to jump? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, from start to the end, I need to go 6 steps to the right. All right, now if we remember number line, anything that goes to the right are positive numbers. Okay, so 6 steps to the right. Okay, positive 6. Okay, so which means my power over here, it's power by 6. All right, every time you travel to the right, okay, your power here will be positive. Okay, so based on this information that I have, how do I write my standard form over here? So I will write this as, I will write whatever I have in my red box here. So in this case will be 1.496. That will be my A. And then I will be multiplying 10 based on the format here. And my integer, the power over here will be the number of decimal place that I jump from start to the end. So in this case, will be 6. Okay, now let me change this to a different color so it's much more obvious. All right. Now, what we have wrote over here, all right, this whole thing, it's called a standard form, right? And that's how we write a standard form, okay? Now, another example that I would like to give, let's just say I have this number here. Okay, so that's my number. Looks similar, but if you notice, I have a 0 in between here. Okay, now take a look. I want to convert this number into a standard form. This is a whole number. I want to change it to standard form. So what's my first step? So I would like to locate the decimal point first of this whole number. So based on this, we know that it is always at the end. All right, so I will call this the end. Okay, and now I want to draw a box on the numbers that I want to form my A. So the rule of the thumb, okay, the rule of thumb is anything that's bigger than 0, you will put a box to it. But in this case, if you notice, there is 1 0 in between these two numbers. So if there is a 0 in between two numbers, this 0 will be included as well. So in this case, it will look something like this. Alright, so the 0 behind will be not important. We can ignore it for now, okay? So this is what we will do, okay? So this will be the number that will make up of my A. Now, the next thing is we need to choose which location should I put my decimal points. So should it be here, 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 or here? But regardless, remember that our A must always satisfy this range. So in this case, the correct location for the decimal point will be here. So if we were to take this out, we will get 1.096. 1.096 over here, it's bigger than 1 and lesser than this. Hence, it satisfied the range. Right? If I were to put my decimal point over here, okay, that will be 10, which is going to be bigger than this. All right, so it doesn't satisfy the range. So the correct location will be here. Now, this is where I will call my start. Right? So now, I will jump from right to left. Alright, or right to left. So over here, if you notice, I will be going from my start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have went 6 steps to the right, right? So which means my power over here will be power of 6. So with all this information, how do I write this in standard form? So my A over here will be 1.096. All right, and we follow the format of writing a standard form. Multiply with 10. And my power, since I am starting from the right to the left, I'm going to the right hand side. So my power will be 6. Okay, so that's how we do standard form.